G'day everybody and welcome back to Starcub Review. I'm your host as always, Starcub. Hey, how's everyone doing today? So, today's video, I've actually got several videos and they're all going to be book reviews. I have been so busy over the last couple of weeks reading several books in my library that I've needed to get read. So, this is the first of three. Possibly four, depends, because I've got other stuff to film as well. But this is going to be a easy one, and it's going to be on the second book in Deborah Harkness's All Souls trilogy, and that is, yes, you guessed it, Shadow of Night. But before I get into that, I just want to thank everyone new to my channel. It has been absolutely great to see all the new subscribers, comments. I know I did a live video last week on Scream 7, and there were quite a lot of people that interacted with that and subscribed because of the talk and whatnot, or because you guys were interested. So I will be doing another chat sort of video live on just anything. I know I have had one up and it's still coming, but I've just been busy and I've not been feeling very well over the last couple of days, so I've not actually been up to doing a live chat. But this weekend I will be doing one, and it'll be during the day, so for anyone that wants to tune into that is more than welcome. It'll be chat about anything, ask me anything, and we'll just go from there. But yeah, you know, all the new subscribers that I've had thus far, I really do appreciate it. It has been absolutely spectacular to see new faces. And all those returning and still watching my videos, thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, the notification bell, keep up to date with all my content. And without further ado, I am now going to roll the opening credits, and I will see you after that. Okay, I am back. So, like I said, today's review is on Deborah Harkness's Shadow of Night, which is the second book in her All Souls trilogy. And honestly, what can I say about Shadow of Night? It is really, really entertaining. I had a lot of fun with this. I read it with the audiobook. I have just been absolutely going crazy with audiobooks with the actual reading of the book as well. It just makes the reading so much better, because you can put yourself in the actual, think that yourself that you're actually in the book and you can see it all, which is really, really good. I find it helps me read a lot more for hours and hours and hours with an audiobook, as opposed to not having an audiobook and taking a little bit longer to actually read through a very big book like this. But Shadow of Night was really, really, really good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's continuing the story of Dana Bishop, who's a witch, and this time we're seeing her in old Victorian style Elizabethan era, and the struggles with that, obviously witchcraft at the time, but the way that it's presented in the book is really incredibly done, really detailed. We get to see a lot more from vampires, witches, demons, other creatures as well. And we are continuing her journey to find the manuscript, Ashmore 782 manuscript, and it's an incredible journey. And the way that Deborah Harkness has written the plot for all of this is incredibly detailed, and it's all based around old time Elizabethan era. And I really had to wrap my head around it because it felt like I was reading it, but it was modern times. Obviously not. But it's just incredibly detailed. The journey she goes through, and the fact that, her lover, Matthew, he's a vampire, obviously. But on top of that, we now see that she's pregnant, and there's that gets thrown into the mix as well, because she's pregnant to a supernatural creature, and back in those times, it's seen upon as, like normal humans, that they'll kill them and whatnot. But there's a twist in this whole saga. We find out during these times, her and Matthew travel back. They travel back in time to Elizabethan era to keep themselves safe and to stop what's coming, but also to keep themselves safe from all the stuff that was happening in the first book towards the end, when they had to travel back in time in order to fix certain things, but also to make sure that she's safe, because as you know, you find out that she's pregnant. It's really complicated, but you also find out during this era that we meet certain historical figures that know about witches and warlocks and demons and all that sort of stuff. And there's high profile politicians, notable figures from that era that know about them as well. And certain of them keep that community safe, but also this side of the political spectrum, they have their own hand in their pockets with certain things, and that's why they know about the supernatural creatures and whatnot. But there's other high figures that know about them too, but want to destroy them. So it's a really intriguing book. That it's very eye-opening as well, because Deborah Harkness there, as a bit of a spoiler warning, she does insert some really graphic sort of sex scenes into the mix. And all the more power to her. I mean, you want to put that in your book, that's like, woo, that's great. So for me, reading those sex scenes, it wasn't a big deal, but I was like, oh girl, you're explaining you're explaining that in detail. So that was I kind of had to have a laugh at that, because I was like, whoa. It gets a little bit more graphic in book 2 with the sex scenes, but hey, you get that in movies as well, so no big deal there. But yes, just the second book does go into some really dark territory, does explain a lot more about Ashmore 782, the magical manuscript. It does go into a lot more detail about these historical past figures that knew about witches and all that sort of stuff, demons, and it's really interesting how she incorporates some of these high figures that, that lived way back in the day. And one of them, Leonardo da Vinci. Now, Leonardo da Vinci in this, she went in a direction I didn't think she'd go, and she pulled it off. Like the stuff with Leonardo da Vinci, whoo, that was a twist. I was like, wow, that's a really good way to incorporate him as a figure into her book, knowing all about, magical creatures and witches and demons and vampires and all of that. And that was really, really interesting. So I really, really liked how she did that. And like always, her characters are extremely well written, very, very detailed, have really awesome backstories. And the more you get into the backstories, the more you're intrigued to know all of this stuff. Is just awesome. She's got her own lore set to it and everything like that. And it's an awesome book. That's all I can really say about it. I really, really enjoyed it. I haven't read the third one yet. I've got the third one. So I will be reading that at some point. But the second one, Shadow of Night, was fantastic. And it is mainly set in Elizabethan era London, old time, but not twist, but a spoiler, we will be traveling back to the present towards the end of the book. I'm not going to say much more there, but there's a huge twist when it comes to them finally getting back into the present. And that leads right into book 3. So I'm excited. I cannot wait. What do I give Deborah Harkness's Shadow of Night? I'm going to rate it an 8 out of 10. I really, really enjoyed it. If you love this sort of stuff, especially for all those people that love romance, fantasy novels, it's an extremely good book. It's very, very detailed, and there's a lot of romantic stuff in it, but also supernatural stuff. And yeah, I enjoyed it. 8 out of 10. What can I say? Thanks so much for tuning in, guys. Don't forget to click like, subscribe, the notification bell, keep up to date with all my content, and I'll see you all with the next video very, very soon. All right, ciao.